So the next box is the More tag, and this applies to when the post is listed on the front end. Anything that is typed in after this More tag will show up on the main post page, but not the front end. So once you click this More tag, the post on the front end will stop wherever you placed it, and a Read More link will pop up. Then everything afterward will show up on the actual posts page. Finally, there's a spell checker. Just in case you spell something wrong. And then it'll try to find whatever it is you are trying to write. Finally, these last two buttons give you more options and more capabilities. Clicking the full screen button allows you to view it more like a word processor document. And if you open the kitchen sink button, that's the very last one, that will give you even more options. And here we can select different formatting options. We can underline, justified alignment, we can change the color of the text. If we're copying from Word, you can use this button to paste from Word and it'll paste in all of the formatting. You can also use this to remove any formatting, the eraser button. You can use this to embed videos like from YouTube. This is for symbols or custom characters. If you're using lists, you can use the indent and outdent buttons. And of course there's undo and redo buttons. So let's get started writing our blog post. Now if you're using subheaders on the page, I recommend starting with heading H3. Usually the title is in heading H2, so you want the subheaders within the blog post to be a bit smaller. And H3 is always a safe bet to go. So let's type a subheader here. Now when we press enter, our formatting is going to go back to the paragraph. Our formatting will go back to paragraph, and we can start typing our blog entry. And now once we've typed in the blog entry, let's click out of the full screen mode and see what other options there are. Now below this box is the discussion box. It will allow you to determine whether you want people to be able to post comments on the blog. In the right column you have your publish box. Now since it hasn't been published yet, let's just save it, and this will save your draft. It's obviously recommended that you save pretty often so you don't lose your work. You can also click preview. To see what your blog post will look like once it's been posted. And finally, when you're ready to publish, you just click this publish button. But first, let's just sort out the categories and tags. Since categories are included in the permalink to your post page, you want to make sure that they're broad enough to include a lot of different posts, but also descriptive enough to be relevant in the search engines. So let's create a new category for this. Called Blogger Tools. And we'll remove the uncategorized tag because we don't want it showing up there. Down here, tags are pretty cool. These don't show up in the URL, but will be attached to your page. So these can be more specific, like for this one we'll type RSS feed. And now that we've got our tags and categories set, we'll click publish. and that will make it visible on the front end. Our status bar up here says the post was published. We click View Post, and this is the actual post page. If we want to go back and edit it, we just click the pencil with the paper button again. And now say you want to utilize that More tag again. You place your cursor wherever you want to split the content between the two pages and click the More tag. And now you click Update Post, and now that'll be reflected on the live site. And now, since we place our More tag right after On, a Read More link takes place of the rest of the content, and we just click it to get to the post page. So now that we've gone over the post section, let's take a look at the pages. Now, like I said before, WordPress sets you up with an automatic example page, so obviously we'll want to change that. The Page Manager is actually a very powerful tool. For instance, mylegaltree.com uses WordPress to power all of its different pages. So let's take a look at how to manage the pages using the backend manager. So if we navigate down to the Pages tab, we have the options to edit or add new. And this will bring up all the different pages that we've created. So let's edit to our own About the Website or About the Author content. And when we're satisfied, we just click Update. And our yellow status bar says we did a good job. If we want to add a new page, we can do that fairly similarly to the way we did posts. This is the title page, and that title is also going to be used for the page title. And we just enter in our content. Again, we have the option to preview it before we launch it. And if we're happy with it, we just click Publish. Now, if ever you publish something on accident and you want to take it down, this applies to posts as well. You just click that status, and you can update it to a draft. And that'll pull it from the front end. Let's say you have something else to do, and you can't finish the page right now. You can just click Save Draft, and when you go back to your pages, it'll notify you that this is still just a draft and it hasn't been published yet. Now, depending on what type of ways, sometimes they'll just show up as links on the sidebar. With this theme, they show up as tabs, which is pretty cool. And if we want to edit the entry, we can just click the edit link again, and it'll take us directly to the edit page. So that will wrap up part 2 of the WordPress video tutorial series. In the next video, I'll demonstrate how to customize WordPress with themes and plugins. Thanks for watching, and feel free to leave your comments and questions.